So when I left the United States, I was forced out of the United States by their criminal, coward attempt on my life when they cut the electricity off on the apartment I was staying in. So I got to Canada, and you see, the attempts of the USA, their cowardly attempts, they expand beyond the borders of the United States. And one of the ways they do that, besides the one that I explained before, they have fraudulent, null, and void information on the chip of my passport, the new passport. On top of them the USA putting me on the no-flight list, means I cannot leave the United States. Why? Who's going to ask the United States? You know, they are gods. Pharaoh, who could ask Pharaoh? Moses, my honorable noble prophet Moses, my honorable cousin Moses. He tried to ask Pharaoh. Pharaoh acted like God. That's what the United States is doing, acting like God. So there's only way for my cousins at that time, under the persecution of Pharaoh and under the leadership of my honorable noble cousin Moses, they had no choice but to leave. Immigration, mass exodus. And that was the exodus of my cousins leaving Egypt. That's a land that's not theirs according to the Bible, leaving it under the leadership of my honorable noble cousin Moses to be saved from the persecution. So they forced me into migration. So I left. Those are pharaohs of the today, the USA government. They are the pharaohs. And who's controlling the United States? The same cousins, my same cousins, whom they were under the persecution of Pharaoh. They are acting like pharaohs. You see, they're acting like pharaohs. So the USA puts you on no-flight list, and they put wrong information, false information, damaging information, defamatory information on my chip. Why? So nobody will give me a visa, or nobody will allow me in. So now, Canada, when you go to Canada, an American citizen like me, I mean normally American citizen, carrying American passport, you go to Canada, you don't need a visa. So they stopped me on the border. You know, we had to get out of the bus, stand in line, waiting for our turn to go through the immigration. And here, the immigration officer tells me to stand on the side. Go see other officer, immigration officer. I see that lady, and she was talking to me, interrogating me, asking me questions. Why? Because of the information they have on my passport chip and on the computer that was accessible by the Canadian authority. You see, this is a violation of my human rights. What kind of information? You have something that will prevent you from going to another country? You have something to put me on the no-flight list? Take me to court. Since 2001, since you raided my home and you endangered my life and life of my children and my father, take me to court if you have anything against me. How long does it take you? You are that slow and idiot and stupid? All this time you try to fabricate things, you see? You are a criminal. This United States government is a criminal corporation, violating all the international laws, all the human rights laws. You name it, they violated it. Any law, you name it, they violated it. Any agreement that they signed, they violated it. Is this a government? I will never, if I'm in a position to sign something for a country, I will never sign anything with the United States of America. Never, ever. Because I'm too good. to deal with such corrupt, criminal government that suspended its own constitution. Its own constitution suspended. Now they have a new law. What's the law? They have the right, you know, the Pentagon law, Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Terrorism of the USA. They could invade any country's capital. Any country's capital. So according to this law, they could invade Helsinki, they could invade Norway, Oslo, they could invade Paris, they could invade Cairo, they could invade Moscow, according to their law. There's no exception. And that's what they did. They invaded Iraq and they destroyed that country. That's their law. How would I have an embassy in my country and their law is to destroy my country? I want Obama to go out and say, we don't have this law. This law was exposed by the outspoken, the honorable Congresswoman Cynthia McKinney on video. How did she get information? Because she was a congresswoman. And Rumsfeld comes and says, oh, we changed our policy. Now we could go invade any country's capital. Well, this is the law. Why would I allow a wolf among my sheep, my herd? I'm the shepherd. Why would I allow that wolf among my herd, among my land? And that wolf was wearing the skin of a lamb, and now the skin of the lamb is out to the public that he's a wolf. Why should I allow such wolf to be in my herd? Why? Let Obama say we don't have this policy, and then let him respond. This application is before the whole world, including the USA. Let them respond to it. Let them respond. This is a criminal organization. The USA is hijacked. Either the USA is hijacked, and they said the hijacker suspended the Constitution of the United States, or the United States turned into a criminal corporation. One of the two. Look at what they are doing. Unconstitutional. Everything that they do, unconstitutional. Nothing complies with the Constitution. Nothing complies with their international treaties. They are finished. Criminal corporation. Why would I live in such criminal corporation? That's what the USA is. United States of Fear and Terror. It's a concentration camp. Who would go through what I went through? I was telling you. Look at all these series of YouTube videos on this YouTube channel. Look at them. See what happened to me. And open your hearts and minds. How could anybody go through all this and still alive? This is not a miracle from God. And then, at the border, they interrogated me and they told me, you cannot enter the Canada, you have to go back. And then you have to sign a paper. The paper that they want me to sign is a waiver of my right to enter into Canada. So the lady gave me the pen and she told me to sign. Normally, what I do? I read before I sign. If there's any comment, anything, I will add it. Because that's my signature. When my signature is there, my point of view is going to be there, part of it. Because if my point of view is not important, then they will not ask for my signature. That's what I do all the time. So I have the pen in my hand and she asked me, I asked her, what's my other option? She said, if you don't sign, we'll arrest you and we'll take you to court. And this is what I did to the pen. I said, let's go to court. See, I have nothing to hide. I'm a victim. My family members are victims of the USA's oppression and persecution and crimes against all of us.